The program of this project would be a series of leisure facilities, which also work as observatory spaces along the coastal path important for hikers and tourists. The design of my project would be driven by the wave data of Portland, informing how the geological features of Portland were shaped through time, with a combination of architectural elements generated by Grasshopper and the composition of spaces inspired by the quarries. It aims to take the users through a journey of exploring the story of the time in Portland Bill. My sites are located on the coastal hiking path around Portland Bill, which is the southernmost of Portland. The path is along the cliff which leads you to the lighthouse. During my first site visit, I found out that the Bill is a nice tourist attraction spot. There are a series of landmarks around the Bill. Moreover, through the investigation of the geological incident that happened along the coast of Portland Bill, I found out that Portland Bill is a great place for geological observations. Yet, there are no other leisure facilities along the coastal path. Many people just drove to the Bill and missed the views along the cliff. Therefore, the project proposes a series of leisure facilities along the path to lead and attract people to walk through the path to the Bill. The program from left to right will be a gallery, a restaurant, a toilet with an extraordinary experience, and a small hotel room. Each occupies a great spot for observing various geological features, including the cave and the collapsed coast. Moving to design development. These are the references that inspire the lighting and design of the buildings. For the design, my first move is to sketch out how the building will fit in the landscape, responding to extraordinary geological features and beautiful views in Portland. I first chose the toilet to develop the design, since the program is much simpler to design. The tests include digital models in Rhino and traditional sketches. The first design and render of the toilet. The design concept is that the building will be a composite of fine-cut Portland stone and raw stones lifted from the coast. At this stage, I found out that the design I developed with the toilet wasn't successful, and designing it constrains my imagination. Thus, I moved to mainly design the gallery to develop further. Before diving into the design and getting lost again, I reevaluate the design strategy of my Project 1, which is combining different scientific forms generated by Grasshopper, and I try to bring this strategy back to my Project 2. So there are two forces that are eroding and shaping the coast of Portland Bill. Firstly is the wave. The strong wave causes different kinds of geological features through erosion, generating various negative space. Another force is coring. Therefore, I am thinking of how I can reverse the process of these two erosions to build out the space. There are three major concepts that drive the design of the project. The first is using the architectural elements of the quarry, such as the lighting, the contoured landscape, and the path inside the quarry that takes you to explore the underground mystery. The second design tool is the wave data of Portland. The data include the cycle, the height, the location, and the direction of the waves. Lastly, I determined the percentage of the artificial and natural erosion in each site, and this would determine how many percentages of digital design I would use in each building. Then I generated various architectural element sets, performing the quarry appearance by combining different data of the waves. For instance, for this spatial element, I first mapped out the position of the wave within a specific timeline, and then extract the data that indicates the power of the wave at the corresponding time. Finally, I improved the script so that the data could erode within the geometry that I determined. So the form varies not only when I apply different data. The longer the time I apply it, the more the data will erode the space, and it also varies when I apply it to different geometry. With all the elements, I first design conceptual models that combines the elements in Rhino, and for the plan of the building, I work in a more traditional way, sketching how the circulation of the gallery could experience like a quarry. This is a conceptual drawing that shows the idea of how the building responds to the landscape. A further sketch of the plans. This is the first iteration plan of the ground floor, the B1 level, the B2 level, and first render and model in Rhino, which shows that the building doesn't fit into the landscape. So I sketch the plans of the exterior spaces to let the building sit in the landscape. On the right are the sketches of the structure. The latest plan will show at the end. With the plan done, the next process is to start to apply data to erode the building. First, I determine the time each space will be spent by the users. Then I built the model and created several bounding boxes waiting for the data to erode with the different corresponding time periods according to the time I determined for the spaces. 50% of the bounding boxes was applied with the data to erode. The material of the data will mainly be Portland stone, and other time-affected materials such as wood and rusted metal will be used in less time-consuming space such as corridors. Other stone materials were selected to add a variation to the spaces. So, the final drawings. This is a ground floor plan, B1 level, and B2 level floor plan. And this is a section structure of the building, of the gallery, and a detail section. And final renderings of the gallery. And now I will show you the final film of my project.
The eventual arrival of steam power and mechanization freed quarries of all constraints and enabled them to gorge inland, so removing field after historic field, giving the landscape we see today.
White, Portland, Plymouth. Southwest 5 or 6, occasionally 7 until later. Rain, then showers, moderate or good.
The island of Portland provides one of the most dramatic coastlines in England. Block of limestone, tethered to the mainland only by the mighty Chesil Bank. Its historic isolation and unique character make this story all the more remarkable.